Did you always know what you wanted to be when you grew up? Haven't you grown up yet? Maybe that's because of your age. Maybe you're just in the car on the way back from school at the moment. Or maybe you're just happy to stay a big kid at heart. Well, if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration, this is where we find out about jobs that you might just fancy doing. So we're going to talk today to Victoria Shepherd, who works at Amerton Farm. Afternoon, Victoria. How are you?
Good afternoon. How are you?
It's lovely to talk to you. You've got to start by telling us, what is your job?
I am the owner of Happy Henry's, Staffordshire's first boutique indoor self-service dog wash.
So your job is working with dogs all day long?
All day. Both at home and at work.
This sounds perfect. So you've got your own dogs as well?
I do. I have Henry, who is my boss. It's terrible, pays very badly. And then we have a new puppy, which is a 6-month-old toy poodle called Stanley.
Oh, poodles are just amazing, aren't they? I had a poodle, a toy one actually, as a kid. That takes a lot of grooming though, a poodle, doesn't it?
It does. Thankfully, I am learning to groom in style now, and I'm going to be the best poodle clipper out there. But yes, he's good to keep my skills up.
It's such an amazing job. There'll be loads of people just thinking, oh, I just want to be with dogs all day long. You can't possibly call it work. How long have you done this?
I've actually only done it since April 15th, 2021. So just coming up on a year.
And what gave you the inspiration to do it?
I guess that was the gift of COVID. I was living in the US. I'd been there for 30 years nearly. And I came back as all my work dried up over there. And I was living with my parents locally and applying for jobs. Couldn't get anything, spending all my time and energy on Henry and his training. And then I happened to go out and get really muddy on Cannock Chase one day. Went into Stafford to say, where's the nearest self-service dog wash? Because that was where I took Henry in California. And people looked at me like I was a bit crazy. So I then thought, okay, I'll do some research here. And there was very little to no competition in the area in what I wanted to do. So I thought, this may be the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. But rather than getting disheartened by getting rejection after rejection, why not just put my life savings into something completely crazy? It might work and it might not.
And a year later, you're still there with Happy Henry's. So how happy are you and how happy is Henry?
I have to say, I am very, very happy. I love doing what I do, and I get so much enjoyment out of being around dogs. And Henry loves being in the English countryside. He's getting happier. He's a little bit of a pessimistic dog. So I built Happy Henry's around him because it has a visual divider so that an anxious dog or so-called reactive dog or aggressive dog can't see what's going on the other side of the barrier. So I welcome all dogs.
So people that are a little bit unruly, people that need a good bath. Oh, it's not people, it's just dogs, is it?
I don't know. It's big enough that you can fit a person in it.
In a real world, how did you do this? I mean, is it something that you have to study for? You have to do a little bit of research, surely, on how to train dogs and how to handle them.
Yeah, absolutely. It is something that you definitely have to do research for. I didn't have I have a lot of business experience and a lot of experience in different industries, but I didn't know anything about starting a business in the United Kingdom. So I reached out to the local Chamber of Commerce, and they were amazingly helpful in giving me guidance, even if it was down to, hey, I want to ship a dog wash from the Netherlands. I don't know how to do that. And they put me in touch. So Staffordshire Chamber of Commerce was amazing for the business side of it. I have done games-based dog training, which I threw myself into with Henry to help him. And that I found that online. It's with a company called Absolute Dogs in Devon. And I was doing that in the US. And I just found that I did a 30-day program with them, intro, and I saw such an amazing change in Henry's personality that I then went on to do their pro dog trainer and behavior course. And I use that at the dog wash. So I play games, I use skills, and the knowledge I have to help a dog relax, become more comfortable in a novel environment. And so I do that. And then I also, obviously, I'm at school now. I started in January with Heavenly's Dog Grooming in Derby. And I'm continuing doing that once a week. Even though I have all the skills now, I want to keep on building up my skills so that I can make it a happy experience for the dogs.
It sounds delightful. What's a typical day like for you?
I don't know. It varies. And that's kind of what I love about working for myself and doing this. I can, now that I'm doing the grooming side, which I've chosen to offer during the week, and then keep the weekends solely for the self-service dog wash, which is the main core of the business, really. And, could be doing social media posts, admin if I haven't got clients. And then I also do video or voice work for any of my old clients that want it done. So, got to keep it interesting, shake it up.
Certainly is interesting. What are the challenging parts or the most challenging parts of your job?
Challenging. I would say that time management for me, if I could work 24 hours a day, I probably would, because I'm passionate about what I do. However, I realize that I have to rein myself in. So that I don't work 18 hours a day. I really have to focus on that. If I get a dog in that is extremely anxious or nervous, I have to often think outside the box, so to speak, to figure out what works for them, because what works for one dog may not work for another. So it's a challenge, but I love the challenge on trying to find out what makes that dog tick. And traditional ways don't always work for all dogs. So that's a challenge.
And what's the best thing about your job?
Best thing, I'm learning constantly. I think if I wasn't learning something all the time from someone or something, I get bored very easily. And people that know me, I've had a lot of careers over the years. So I love learning and new challenges, finding solutions. The puppy kisses. The puppy kisses, and seeing a dog literally drag their owner across my doorstep to get into an environment that when they first came, they didn't like. It's so cool to see that change in a dog from going from anxious to happy.
And what would you tell anyone who might like to do your job? What advice would you give them?
Have a backup plan. I'd do some independent learning to start off with. You have to be passionate about dogs, because I have to say that the passion keeps me going on the days that, some days I question what I'm doing and I'm not sure if I'm going down the right path or it's been quiet. So especially starting up during COVID, it's, as you can imagine, it's been up and down. So passionate, get an apprenticeship if you are in that age bracket, because then you can learn from someone else, whether it be a grooming salon or a dog walk or a boarding kennel. But don't quit your day job to start off with. It is it's been an expensive ride, and it's taken me over half a century to get to that point. So I'm lucky that I've been able to do it and commit to it. But I would say do it part-time. Make sure it's really what you want before you spend your life savings on it. And I think that's really what I do. You've got passion is key. And if you're not happy, try something else.
That's a really good motto in life, isn't it, Victoria? It's been amazing hearing your story. Best of luck to you, to Henry and to Stanley. Have a brilliant afternoon in the sunshine.
Thank you so much. Great to speak to you, Susan.
You
Bye-bye.
too. That's Victoria Shepherd there. So, if you ever decide to grow up, fancy being a dog groomer, fancy setting up your own business, sounds like it's not without its challenges. But it also sounds like Victoria has never looked back when it comes to taking on those challenges. If you've got a job that you think is a little bit different, or there's one that you want to find out more about, set me the challenge or seek someone out and we'll investigate here on BBC Radio Stoke. Give me a call, 0800 121